Thank you, everybody, and particularly thank you to FEUGA for inviting me to this seminar, this Galicia Innovation Days. I am here to talk about innovation public purchase in the aeronautical space, which is where our innovation agency has developed its activity in the last few years. Why have we been using the innovation public purchase tool? Because the innovation public purchase is a tool that allows everybody. It's a win-win situation for the company, for the administration, and for the citizen, because the purchase of innovation and development is not the typical purchase we do usually in administration. It's not something, for the moment you start off with, you don't know what you're looking for. You have a need, but you don't know how to cover it. To carry out this innovation public purchase, you need to change your mentality. It's not something that's imposed from above. I express my needs, and it is the sector itself who comes to me with bringing some solutions. So it's quite an important change in the innovation policies. What do you do, and what are the do's and don'ts of IPP? First, you have to find out, identifying your problems, particularly by the administration. The administration must listen to the market, what is in the market, in the ecosystem, what can they offer us, and we must trust the solutions that are being implemented. We cannot build. We have to build from the problem, not from the solution. We have a problem and we have to build the different solutions. We cannot work in isolation. Administration by itself cannot find a solution on its own, and we cannot be conservative in our point of view. If we do not have external experts to solve these problems, that's a big mistake, because the administration doesn't have the knowledge about absolutely everything. Even if it's a big company that has technicians from many different disciplines, however, the administration does not know all the solutions that are available in the ecosystem. So the only way of managing this is opening this dialogue. We must be aware that if we identify these risks by means of innovation public purchase, we have to trust external experts. Of course, there is a risk in this type of agreements, and sometimes these developments do not reach their end. They are not successful. Sometimes this investment does not produce a final product, but the final success rate of these developments is quite high. So this in general benefits the citizen to a great extent. We must also have a look at intellectual property issues. That's one of the greatest handicaps we have in this contractual relationship, but that's something that can be negotiated too. And we usually also establish a dialogue to discuss intellectual property issues. What have you done in the Galician Innovation Agency? We are firm believers and big fans of this tool. So we have created the program Impulsa CPI. It's a program that promoted a series of actions and dissemination activities to get to inform about this mechanism and asking the different parts of the administration to use it. The big initiative we carried out showing how this is used, it was the civil UAVs initiative. It is the initiative about civil use drones that was started in the year 2014, and now we are already in the third stage of this project. And within this goal that we had of showing the other organizations the use of this instrument, we dynamized the innovation public purchase, in the administration, we carried out some training to the different departments of the administration, and 2 departments of the Xunta de Galicia were beneficiaries of this. Now we're carrying out innovation public purchase in the Sergas and in the environment department, and these projects have benefited from funds coming from Europe and mostly through the ministry and through this line. Here we're talking about our public purchase, our innovative public purchase, the civil-based initiative, and what this project is doing to promote the aeronautical sector. We have told you what we have done and what we want to do in the future. We are committed to innovation public purchase because we believe that this is the tool we need in order to consolidate a private-public partnership model. It's not the administration that innovates, it's the companies that innovate. We innovate with the procedures we use, like this one, but the innovation comes from outside. And this model that is being reproduced between the public and private actors, this should also be done in the combination of partnerships between private and private entities. This could be done in private purchase, and the private companies could benefit from this procedure in the same way as the public and private partnerships are benefiting from it. We must continue identifying challenges that the Galician administration could have, and challenges that can be solved by means of this mechanism. The public innovation purchase, it's a win-win. All we want is, as a final recipient, it is the administration who wins, but we want to improve the lives of citizens by means of innovation public purchase. And this allows the administration also to identify our specialization profile, and this way developing an R+D+I ecosystem that is more adequate for the requisites that are coming from Europe, so that we can identify in greater detail this specialization profile. The great project of the Xunta de Galicia in the aeronautic sector is the Civil UAVs initiative. This is something we show as an example of good practices. This was started at the year 2014. The main goals of it was promoting a new sector of high technology in Galicia, promoting innovation among Galician companies, and acting as a lever for the knowledge we had and creating jobs, quality jobs. This strategy, the goal of it was to position Galicia as an international benchmark in the new segment of unmanned aerial vehicles. I think that the balance of this project shows that even though it's been hard work, it's not been easy throughout the years, but it's definitely been worth it. Here you have the figures, the positive side we want to show all the time. As you see in figures, it's quite impressive. The total budget that we have mobilized in these years is of 164 million euros, quite a big amount, and we have all taken risks. The administration has put 50%, and 50% has come from private funds. It's been also the private sector has committed itself a lot too. You have 4 programs in this project. The greatest investment has been the investment on R+I+ research and development, and now we have the latest contract we had as partners, as technological partners, Indra and Bakko, for example, who are 2 large international companies. In the solution program, we have managed to invest 28 million euros There were 6 public tenders where we looked for solutions of technological challenges that other sections of the government had. And, well, the solutions were done by means of platforms. And then the part of infrastructures, which is more than 30 million worth. And we have managed to equip a mixed center we have in the airport of Rozas, apart from building an industrial area for the development of unmanned aerial vehicles. And we already have 2 spaces for planes. And there is a planning, a very interesting future investment plan. And then we have the entrepreneurship program, which is 7.75 million worth. They have their own accelerator in which more than 19 companies have been started there. Here you have some of the figures, some of the most important figures. Thanks to this project, we have hired 937 professionals in this initiative. What are we going to do in the future? With these results, of course, we must continue with our commitment with this initiative. We must make it grow and we must make it strengthen it. We have a program called Rozas 2125, which has 7 programs. We have added 3 programs to the 4 we had initially. These programs are divided into strategic goals, 20 strategic goals and 30 actions. And the investment we have planned for this is of up to 140 million of funds mobilized, both public and private funds. From these, 40 million will be for the program of research and development, and the rest, 70 of them are public, and from these 70 public, 40 million will be for the programs of research and development. The rest will be both public and private funds. These 40 million of public funds that we have for this tender, the tender is to select strategic partners with which to formalize association agreements for the development, the commercial development of unmanned aerial vehicles. This has already been started. This tender process is still open, and we hope that once this tender is closed, we can select between 4 to 8 driving companies. We want to have joint programs that are complementary and that cover the great technological challenges of UAVs. And we want this program, as it did the first time, now having a lot more investment and having much more ambitious goals. We want to continue creating this employment and creating the knowledge in the sector. We want to continue being a benchmark, and we want to leave an industrial footprint in Galicia. In between these 8 companies, we want to create sign at least 4 collaboration contracts. We want to have double the partnerships that we had in the past. We want 2 constructions of hangars in the Rozas industrial area, aircraft hangars we want to build between 4 and 8, and we want to carry out 80 research and development projects. The goal we have is up to 700 jobs, creating around 700 jobs. So we can have an offer which is much more complete, which can affect, we can increase our portfolio in the segment of platforms and systems, and also self-piloted aircrafts and optionally piloted vehicles. We want this driving effect, this momentum to continue, and we want to multiply the technological capacity of Galician companies, and we hope that this will produce economic growth and job creation and leave an industrial footprint. This is more or less what I can tell you from the Galician Innovation Agency. So this is a project for the future, and hopefully in a few years' time I can tell you about better results.